Today I'm going to show you my overly complex yet reliable method for making really catchy melodies. This method is so broken down and precise that I guarantee if you follow it step by step, you will make the greatest melodies you've ever made. So with that being said, there are 4 steps of this method. Let's go ahead and get started so we can make some melodies. Step number 1 is we create the mood first, and we do that by creating a harmony. I'm going to write out here a region that is 4 bars long. 4 bars is the standard length for a melody. We could change that later. This is a good starting point. To create our harmony, we're going to need a really simple pad sound. I think the most reliable pad sound we can use is if you open up any synthesizer of your choice. Make sure a sawtooth wave is loaded up into at least one of the oscillators. So you should get this sound. In most synths, if you initialize the preset, by default, you should get a sawtooth wave. And to get a really reliable pad sound, just go down to your filter module and add a low pass filter. It's such a good sound because it's so simple. And now this is the fun part. We're going to create a simple harmony. The way we do that is we go toward the center of our piano roll, so around C3, and pick any of the notes around C3 and make 4 notes, each that are 1 bar long. This is called a pedal tone, or it's going to be called a pedal tone. It's boring, I know, but here's where the magic happens. Now step down an octave. Down here, we're going to write a line of 4 more notes, but this time these notes move around, and your goal is to pick notes that sound good against this pedal tone. Feel free to pick 1 note at a time. If you hit a sour note like that, make sure to fix it. And what we're looking for is something like this. This is a harmony. It's 2 simultaneous lines of music that come together and create a harmony, or in other words, generate an emotion. So what I like to do is do this a couple times. So I'm going to duplicate it, put it aside, and just generate a couple harmonies until I find something that I feel like making a melody with, and then we will move on. Now, I like this harmony, it really speaks to me. Sometimes I'll keep making these, even if I have to make 10 of them, in search for a harmony that makes me feel good like this one does. And so right before I select this one and move on to the next step, I might check it against other instruments, like here's a piano. And if it still sounds good, that's a good sign. I might even take the pedal tone, double the pedal tone onto another note. And if it keeps sounding interesting to me, I know I have something good and I can keep developing it into a really cool melody. I have one more point to make. When I'm picking these bottom notes to create the harmony with this pedal tone, I'm really not paying attention to music theory. I'm just using my best judgment to pick notes that really speak to me. And starting like that, I think, sets you up to make such powerful melodies. Step 2 is simple, and that's to take your root notes of the harmony and just turn them into chords. If you don't know how to make chords, I have a free chord writing guide that you can download in the description below, but I'll also explain it as I'm doing it. To turn your harmony into chords, you take the root notes, add your 5th, which is 7 semitones above the root notes, and then you add your 3rds, either the minor or major 3rd, depending on what key signature you're in. So now my harmony with chords that are in their basic form sound like this. So this is our chord progression now, which should be a more enhanced version than our simple harmony. Here's the simple harmony. And here's the chords. See how we just upgraded the emotion like 25%? Now while I'm here on the chord stage, I like to do what I can to add as much emotion to the chords before we move on to the next stage. And that could be adding inversions, voicing, or things like sevenths. In this case, I'm going to keep it simple and just do what I always do with my chords, and that's take the thirds and put them up one octave. You guys know I love to do that with chords. I think it just gives the chords a more open sound. And in this case, I think I'm not going to roll with that pedal tone. Wasn't that the most roundabout way of coming up with 4 simple chords? We didn't just pick these chords though. We let our emotions discover them. I promise you this is going to get better. Just keep following. Let's get on to step 3, which is adding rhythm. Rhythm is what I now believe to be the most important part of melodies. All right, let's add rhythm here. I'm just going to use a trusty dotted eighth rhythm. That is when you make your triggers an eighth note long plus 50% of the length of itself. I think these are very groovy rhythms. You can get a lot of energy from them. That's okay, but as I'm developing my melodies, I love to keep cycling through different sounds to help spark new inspirations. It's so important in this phase. There's nothing like a plucked synth playing a dotted rhythm. Here's some echo and reverb. Gorgeous. It's still missing something though. So when I'm in the rhythm phase, I really do try everything. Try everything rhythmically and time-wise that you can, because it really does add so much. So what I like to do is if I have a 4-bar melody like this, just for experimentation purposes, I'll extend it to 8 bars. And instead of having one whole note chords, we make all the chords 2 whole notes long. And then another rhythm thing I might try, just while we're here, you shorten your notes a little bit, and you knock the second and fourth of each quarter note off the grid with a little bit of swing. I've been making all of my melodies swing lately. I just love the sound. I'm crazy about it. Sometimes if you take the 3rd chord and drag it on a bit, you get more tension toward the end of your chord progression. Here's step 4. Step 4 is to design your top line melody. What that means is that you can take the top notes of your chords, or you can add a brand new melody up here using the same instrument. What I'm going to do, and what I love to do, is just to use the top note of the chords and start moving these notes around to make it sound like a melody. It's so reliable, and you get a unique, amazing melody every time. Check this out. So I like this one, but this one, I'm just gonna go up to that note and see what we get. I'm gonna add a little bit of passing notes. can capitalize on this resolution chord here. Now it sounds good, but I still think we could add more energy to it by doing a couple things. One of those things is focusing on this top line more by getting rid of these fifths. Remember, we're not making chords, so we don't have to have these have a chordal structure. We're just using these fifths to help us build our melody. That sounds cool, but check this out. I did this in another project and it just sounded so cool. Let's do a whole stutter. Now we have that quick rhythm there. Just when our listener thinks we're gonna just do that rhythm again, we're gonna hit him with this. Watch, a nice stutter. Now on this stage, I like to keep going until I know I have something unique. So I'm just gonna throw some automation here and move this melody around. I'm gonna take this pitch wheel here and just glide these stutters. And we can use the cutoff wheel to kind of make it a little easier on the ears. I'm gonna do the same thing on the front side of the melody. My entire melody has to move around. I'm gonna add some unison to the sound. It really is the most long and overcomplicated process for making a melody, but here it is in context. All you hear is the melody. It's amazing. Like, I know it's long and a little drawn out, but I just don't think there's a more precise way to find a mood and then develop it into a melody. But that's a video for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, check out my coaching options in the description below this video. If you would like to join my community of highly ambitious music producers, I have a link for that in the description below as well. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video lesson.